So, what do you think? Do you think that leagues like the NFL, like individually, I know the Sacramento Kings came out and said they would pay athletes in Bitcoin if they wanted to be. Do you think that that's something that will ever receive mass adoption, or do you think that the leagues sort of want to protect their athletes? Because it would, like in December, everybody was like there was it was only up.
Yeah.
Now Bitcoin's at 62, goes to 35. Imagine if you are the NBA and a top athlete wants to be paid 10 million and that 10 million turns into 4 million. After taxes, it's 2 million.
Yeah.
And like all of a sudden you look bad. Do you think that that will prevent leagues from, full in adoption on that sort of thing?
I was gonna say, even if it goes the other way, they're probably pissed, right? That they
Right.
didn't have the upside. But I think what the leagues are doing right now is super conservative and the right move for right now, which is Russell Okung, right? He plays for the Panthers. He makes $13 million a year. He came out, I believe it was in November or December, and he said, "I'm going to take 50% of it going forward in Bitcoin specifically." So he took $6.5 million, and he said, every paycheck I'm going to automatically transfer half. And he uses payment service called Strike. And what it does is basically it's direct deposit for cryptocurrency. So the Panthers pay Strike right here in the middle from here to here, and then Strike converts it to cold storage and puts it and gives it to Okung before he even sees it, right? So it's just like your bank account. But the issue is that CBAs right now for the NFL, the NBA, and the MLB all say that you can only basically pay through direct deposit or physical check. So you have to go and make an amendment to be able to do anything else. And a lot of these leagues, one, like you said, just don't want to be involved. But
Right.
I think what we're seeing, and I've written about this in the past, it's really just I think we're definitely going to see more players do it. I know that there's players working on doing it, right? So there's going to be more players that come out and say, I want to do 50%, 100%. Sean Culkin, he was on the Chiefs and he wanted 100%, right? So there's going to be more players. I think there's going to be some big names doing it. But in reality, I think it's actually the other side that we're going to see a lot more innovation. It's going to be sponsorships. The Miami Heat, they got like $135 million from FTX to rename the arena rights, and they couldn't sell them for 2 years. American Airlines ran out like a year or 2 years ago, right? And it
That's
still didn't
so
run,
crazy.
couldn't sell it. And so the city had the rights. They went out and sold it and got a cut of it or whatever. But FTX paid $135 million, so massive amounts of money. And my whole thing is like, if they're paying $135 million, they're 100% going to want to use their products within the arena, right? Like, why shouldn't you be able to use their products and transact in Bitcoin for stadium concessions or merchandise or whatever? The Mavericks accept Bitcoin for sales. The
And
Athletics,
Dogecoin.
yeah, and Dogecoin. I was going to leave that one out. But yeah, like
I congratulated Mark on his foresight. I emailed him. I was like, by the way, your foresight on Dogecoin,
yeah,
remarkable.
yeah. And so what's his deal? He says he's not going to sell any, right? He's going to keep it in whatever.
I
It's
don't
like,
know. I don't know. But
um,
he's up so much. I mean, the Mavericks, I don't know the breakdown or any of that. Just
yeah,
funny.
I mean, he's been accepting it for months, so he's certainly done well from a kind of a purely financial perspective. But yeah, like just to that point is like I just think we're going to see a bunch of teams innovate with it and try a bunch of different things. Some will work out, some won't. Like FTX being the naming rights partner for the Miami Heat, it wouldn't be the first time that a naming rights partner kind of business failed or did something like that. And by no means am I saying that's going to happen, but I just mean some of these things will work out. Like the Oakland Athletics, they were selling 6-person suites to their stadium for $60,000, and they came out and said, "We'll accept one Bitcoin for it." And Bitcoin was at like 58 at the time, right? So more than anything, it was more just a marketing play, I think, of just kind of like, hey, kind of get our name in the press that we have suites available. This is what you can
It
do.
was sweets for a year,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So suites, full season suites, 6-person, you got $60,000 or Bitcoin, which was at 58. But if they would have transacted in Bitcoin and held it, they'd be down significantly right now, right? Or if it would have went the other way, they'd be up significantly. So I probably am led to believe or assume that they were just going to kind of transact it and trade it for fiat and USD immediately. But
Right.
who knows? But right, like I think those are just all examples of teams getting creative. Like the Giants signed with Grayscale, right? They signed a sponsorship. So I think that's kind of more of the interesting part for me. Athletes will continue to try to kind of be at the forefront, but at the end of the day, they can just take their salary and buy Bitcoin. So it's kind of just like a different angle of it.
Right. Yeah. That ability, because it's so funny. I was thinking the other day, I was like, I texted my friend. I was like, I wonder if Uber does any sponsorships, because I'm really spending a lot of money on Ubers. And then I was like, or I could just get a sponsorship with anybody else and spend it on Uber.
Yeah,
It's like there's no difference.
yeah, because
Money,
Uber's like, we'll give you credits, and it's like, it probably like, I mean, I'm just speaking for them, but it'll be
right?
like a discounted rate when in reality, you're like, wait, I could just go get a different sponsor. It'll pay me more and then I'll just use that money on Uber. Right. So it's kind of the same,
Right, right.
kind of the same
But
thing.
internally, like emotionally, you want to feel like you're getting something. So like I want to feel like I'm spending nothing,
Yeah.
but in reality, I'm spending more, and that's
Yeah.
no fun. But yeah, man, this whole world, it's changing so fast. I mean, I didn't have any crypto conversations a year ago, and now I can't go 3 hours without a text, and it's crazy.
It's crazy. I think it's good though. You know what I mean? It's like whether you believe it or not, it's innovation, right? And it's tech innovation. I think that's awesome. And really, if you are a believer in crypto in general, whether it's a Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, whatever it is, I think that we've now transitioned to a space where it's kind of like uh, it's not anymore. It's like crypto versus something else. It's like crypto internally, right? And it's almost like people are arguing about different things within crypto. So I think that that's been a huge shift over the last year, and it's crazy
Right.
to think about, right? Like just a year, even a year, 2 years ago, like there was people all over television screaming about a bubble, all this stuff, and we'll see where price goes. But I just think that there's been a shift in the perception of kind of digital money online, right?
Yeah, man. And I think the big lesson that I've learned from all this is that, everything isn't real until it is.
Yeah.
Like true with Bitcoin in 2014, 17, whatever, right? True with Dogecoin in January, not as true now. You can give utility to anything. So to call something, you know, bogus indefinitely looking forwards is something that you can't do as a human in 2021. You just gotta wait and see. You can say, I don't believe in it right now,
Yeah.
but you never know. You
It
never
was
know when Elon's just gonna tweet something out and it's just gonna go
crazy.
to the moon.
Who knows?